Hello there YouTube, it's Webby3, back with another kicking action figure review. Today we are looking at another Power Rangers Street Fighter Lightning Collection crossover figure from Hasbro. It's Morphed Kin, the Soaring Falcon Ranger. Really like the naming convention they've used for these, by the way, you know? Because they have Stinging Crane, who will be our next one, and we also have had Crimson Hawk and Blazing Phoenix, who we've both already reviewed. And so yeah, it's like some adjective and then a really cool bird. Pretty much. One of which is mythological, which I assume makes Chun-Li the most powerful one, since hers is the only one that's not a real bird. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, this is the plastic-free packaging. I know I've started showing packaging again in reviews. How ace of me. Now you can see kind of the video game guy. I don't play Street Fighter, and I know nothing about him or Cammy. That's a cool pose, though. Yeah, you can see he comes with a lot of cool accessories. I think the accessories are kind of the best part of these. So now, let's bust him out of his plastic-free packaging. And here he is out of package. Kin, the Soaring Falcon Ranger. Right off the bat, first thing I noticed, he is the most boring design-wise. His shield, I feel like, is about as creative as Ryu's. He and Ryu both have pretty close to the dragon shield. The ladies' shields are both way cooler than the men's. Also, his helmet is very clearly just sculpted over the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger helmet. Everyone else gets a much more unique looking helmet that looks like it was made just for them. And for Kin, they were like, oh, the Red Ranger's helmet's good enough for him. Just slap some bird stuff on it. Lazy. Lazy. I mean, his morpher is fully painted, and you can see the little falcon in it, which is really nice. And I actually quite like the look of these gloves. They are a bit generic when compared to some of the others. And, oh, there's white paint scuffs. Uh-oh. I can fix that pretty easily, but you can see where I was doing that with some others. But it's like, uh-oh. His design is just the least interesting. It's not even a contest. I mean, look at his boots. Those are just straight up Red Ranger Mighty Morphin boots. Uh-oh. And really bad paint scuffs. And they're backwards. They're backwards. See, one is backwards and one isn't. What the heck? What? Why? I don't understand that. What the hell? Luckily, the articulation let me fix it, but look at them. They both have gold paint coming down onto the seams, and then this one's real screwed up. So yeah, this guy's I'm already seeing a lot of little paint troubles. The more I look at him, the more I see them. Oh, look at the little engravings they put in the back of the helmet, hoping it would make us think it's different. That's cute. Man, I'm being a little mean. He didn't pick his design. I'm sorry, kid. It's not a bad design for the most part. But I gotta say, the bare arms freak me out. Ooh, but B3, you liked the bare arms on Shredder, whose design goes really cool with these Street Fighters, I might have to say. But if all four of the Street Fighter Rangers had bare skin showing, I don't think it would bother me as much as it does. But it's only him. The others don't seem to have any bare skin. Cammy has her hair coming out of her helmet, but that actually looks really cool. Because, you know, Chun-Li and Ryu have tassels, and her hair kind of acts as that. So he's not uniform with the other Rangers. He has the same kind of morpher and the same kind of martial arty look, but his helmet is clearly Mighty Morphin. And the others have Mighty Morphin-esque features, other than the morpher. Like, Ryu's boots are very Mighty Morphin, but they're gold, not red, so they don't feel as Mighty Morphin, because they're gold. And there is no Mighty Morphin Gold Ranger. We didn't get gold till the next team, Zeo. And then the Mighty Morphin paint scheme isn't on Chun-Li at all, and it's slightly on Cammy, but like her boots are very different. They have the diamonds, but you'll see in her review, which will be the next one. He's a lot more copy and paste Mighty Morphin with just slight, tiny changes. Also, the goatee on the helmet, ugly as hell. He looks like a douchebag. What's with the helmet goatee? It looks terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. He's not the only one with the little Mighty Morphin person mouth. Those never bothered me. They bother some people. But I feel like if he didn't have the person mouth, the goatee would look less like a goatee, and it wouldn't be as freaky. Just, yeah, I have a lot of gripes with his design, and we're already seeing quality control issues with the paint. Nice, Hasbro. Let's see if articulation will redeem it. The articulation is probably about what you expect, though. Up and down on the head, with side to side, and since it's got more of a wobble, since it's a double jointed neck, with a joint at the top and bottom, and not just the top like early Lightning Collection figures. He has the butterfly joint in and out on the arms. You've got bicep rotation, double elbow bend, rotating wrist with forward and back. There's not much hindrance with his shield, though. He has, out of the three we reviewed, the shield that's the closest to the body, so it's hindered the least. Cammy looks like her shield will probably hinder less than his, but it really only hinders going all the way up. So his shield doesn't bother me hinder-wise. He's also got a nice range on his torso there, a nice waist crunch forward, but no real back because he has a hard plastic pussy. But you have in and out, and you can kind of make it rotate more because this is a later Lightning Collection, so the legs drop down, but all the ones with these drop down legs have really loose legs, is kind of the issue with that. I appreciate what they tried to do with that. I appreciate them improving articulation over time, but it didn't always work out. The necks get turned around and they get backwards, and it's hard to get them back the way they were sometimes. And then these legs are all wobbly because of this. They tried to give us more, but it ended up being a bit of a hindrance. You have a thigh swivel, a double knee bend. Very good. Boot swivel up and down on his little feeties, and a rotation with pegals on the bottom. So yeah, least interesting design of the four, but I didn't have any quality control issues with his articulation. So, hey, that's that. Anyway, now let's get on to accessories. Now, these Street Fighter Rangers actually have pretty awesome accessories. Like, really, really cool accessories. So, you can see he's got two fist hands, which you can swap out for his open hands if you'd like. I'll probably give him one fist hand, you know, just for fun. Especially since I have to use a fist hand to show off one of the accessories. He has this big energy punch effect, which is really cool. I don't know if it's supposed to go on a specific arm. I would assume you can use it for both. So that's actually really cool. Look at that. That's so cool. Yeah, that's a really neat effect right there. I'm digging that. That's cool. You gotta admit that's really cool. These Street Fighter Rangers come with the dopest effect parts. Oh my god. Yeah, I am down with that. That is super cool. That's really cool. Wow. Wow. Wraps around his body in a really cool way. I like that effect. And in my previous ones, I've said that I thought it was really cool that these Rangers came with kicking effects, because you like never see these Rangers in the Lightning Collection with kicking effects. Guess who also has one? He does. It's the same thing, really, just for his foot. So he's kind of like kicking up. I can hear him hi-ying as we speak. That's very cool. Remember I said, though, loose. Pretty much all of them that have that articulation have it a little loose. So that's the issue with that. You could use like a little Tamashi stand or something, though. That could help. His kick effect might not work as well. Maybe you could prop it up a little with this stand, but on the kick effect, I didn't actually see anywhere to plug it in, except I'm lying. I noticed this after I was talking about it and mentioned the Tamashi stand. His kick effect does have this, which means they knew it would be too heavy, which means they know that their articulation is flawed. So you can put it in there. That's good, that's helpful, useful, and you could also use it as like an energy effect, like a kind of key blast kind of thing. Oh, Curve the Bullet. You guys remember that movie? Yeah, nobody does. Anyway, my issue with these stands is that the bulb doesn't really stay in. If it falls off your shelf or gets flicked, it'll lose it. I got a spare. It'll lose it. I have all the accessories for the 3 I've reviewed next to me, so I have an extra one here. But it does have 3 peg holes for dynamic posing, which is good. And he also has another effect. They all come with an energy bird. His is kind of the most generic looking energy bird too. I'm sorry I'm ragging on him so hard. It's cool, but compared to the others, like compared to the Phoenix one, this one's pretty generic. It's in almost the same pose as Ryu's, except Ryu's had this cool energy and stuff coming off the bottom where you could see him using it as a blast. This one feels less like a blast. If it is, it's going this way, I guess. But the other 2 had like energy trails, and this one doesn't. So it doesn't feel like a blast or anything. It feels almost more like a familiar that he summoned. Still objectively cool. I mean, let your imagination do what it will. I'm sure there are people that have like all 4 of the birds displayed. And it goes on the stand as well. But it doesn't really look like a blast. It doesn't feel like a blast effect. It feels just like a being made of energy. Once again, that's still cool. Maybe it's the being that gave him his powers, you know? A being from the Morphin Grid. Who knows? Maybe it flies into his Megazord and it's the spirit that inhabits the Zord or something. These guys don't have Zords, but they'd have cool ones, I bet. Except this guy, apparently, since he got the rejected design parts. And now for everybody's favorite part of these videos, size comparisons. For this comparison, I'm going to start off with the Lightning Collection. I always try to start off with their own line, but also all crossover figures. Yes. So here he is with the morphed Ryu Crimson Hawk Ranger and the morphed Chun-Li Blazing Phoenix Ranger. It's perfect. He scales perfectly with them. He looks really cool with them. Their designs are cooler than his, but the 3 of them together, I think, look pretty good. That makes me really happy. And he scales well with his own line, which is all he needs to scale well with. As long as a figure scales well with its own line, then its scaling is good. But I am going to show it with some other stuff, like some Japanese figures. These are both from Bandai Japan. We have the Sentai Hero Series 2 Kaiser, as well as the Poppy Magishine from Magiranger. Yeah, that's not gonna work. He's too big for the Poppy and too small for the Sentai Hero Series 2 Kaiser. So yeah, if you mainly collect the Japanese figures, his scaling won't be great with them. Sorry. Sorry. But we can get back to American figures with the Dino Fury line. Here is the Dino Fury Cosmic Armor Green Ranger. And of course, how could we forget Void Knight? God, I love his design. Now, height-wise, he seems fine, but he just seems a little bulkier than them. Maybe he works well with her, but this guy I feel like should be much bulkier since he has this thicker, bulkier armor. I mean, he has to be like a twig under all that, right? I don't know, she kind of looks like a twig compared to him too. So he's kind of bulky for them, but height-wise it's fine. Now, how about we throw in some other Henshin heroes, huh? These are not Power Rangers or Super Sentai, and they're not going to be the same exact ones from the last review. Well, one of them is. So here is the Valaverse White Dragon from Legend of the White Dragon. They made a really cool 2-pack that I reviewed. I reviewed everything you've seen in size comparisons. And I reviewed this guy too, the Bandai Movie Monster series. Anime Ultraman. I like to call him Ultraman Shinjiro. You know what? I like both of these. This guy is very much built like a Lightning Collection figure. He really works out. And in Shinjiro here, his head is so tiny compared to all these other big helmets. But I mean, these are live action helmets that would have to go over a bigger head. I don't know if he ever got a live action suit. I don't remember him being in the short film, but who knows? I could just be misremembering. And then Shinjiro here is, of course, anime and manga. But yeah, height-wise, I think Shinjiro's fine, though, and the body bulk is good. So yeah, I do think he'll scale well with these lines. This line has very few humanoid characters in it, but it does have humanoid characters. So that's good. I'm glad that he scales well with those. That makes me very, very happy. So, what are my probably predictable final thoughts on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Street Fighter crossover, Morphedkin Soaring Falcon Ranger from Hasbro? Out of the 4, he is the most visually boring. He is the most copy and paste Mighty Morphin. The guys have the most basic shields. But, I mean, the Morpher looks good. There's a lot of other paint issues. That one I already kind of sort of fixed. Nope, I sure didn't. There's still white. Dang it. I gotta get my paint marker back out. But, yeah, quality control issues with these. Not as much for the articulation. Once again, the Lightning Collection figures that have this on the legs seem to almost all be loose. So that's just an issue in general with that articulation and not as much a quality control. It is still technically a quality control issue, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that out of the ones I've reviewed, his design is definitely the worst. And hopefully, when I open Cammy, she will not be as disappointing. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. as in And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.